In this session, we are going to solve some problems of process control. I'll primarily try to cover this module 1 and module 4. It will be the short multiple choice type questions, very pertinent for GATE. Right. So the first problem, you see, what is stated? I'll send you the copies later. A process is initially at its steady state with its output y equal to 2. So steady state output y equal to 2. For an input which is also steady state 1, the input suddenly changes to infinity at t equal to 0 and drops again to u equal to 1 at t equal to 0 plus. So at t equal to 0, input grows to infinity, t equal to 0 plus, u is again 1. So it is typically impulse input, right? And diagrammatically we can represent it like this. So u equal to 1, which is the steady state value, and that is ut. This is t equal to 0. Right? The output response yt is 1 plus 2t. Yt is 1 plus 2t. The transfer function of the process. We have to calculate the transfer function. You see here the only point is understanding of deviation variable. If you solve directly with y and u, you will get wrong answer. So you have to get y prime, which is yt minus ys, and that is 1 plus 2t minus this 2. So it is 2t minus 1. So y prime bar, the Laplace transform, will be 2 divided by s square minus 1 divided by s. Right? Now the input grows to infinity and drops to 0 to u equal to 1. So u prime t is impulse function, right? Let it be unit impulse, because we don't know what sort of impulse it is, right? So u prime bar equal to 1. So g, which is y prime bar divided by u prime bar, will be 2 by s square minus 1 by s. So that is the answer. 2 by s square minus 1 by s. So this is the answer of the question. So the point to be noted here is convert the variable input and output variable into their deviation variable form. Right. Next question. It's the elementary, this is a GATE question, 1 marks GATE question, that transfer function gs, it is to be calculated, whose asymptotic Bode diagram is shown below. What is that? So here minus of g j omega, that is amplitude ratio basically. This is 10 and the Bode plot is something like this. The slope is plus 1 and this is also 10, right? And this is the scale of omega in radian per second. So you see it is the typical PD controller, and we know that G, this amplitude ratio for PD controller is Kc into under root 1 plus tau d omega whole square, right? So for omega very low value, omega having a very low value, if we go for logarithm, so log of AR is equal to log of Kc minus log of tau d omega. So this is low frequency asymptotic version. Right? Unknown. This log of tau d omega as omega tends to 0. So low frequency asymptotic version AR is equal to Kc. And log of AR high frequency, where 1 will be negligible, log of tau d omega plus log of Kc for omega tending to infinity. This is high frequency asymptotic version, this is low frequency asymptotic version. So obvious that Kc is equal to 10 and tau d, which is inverse of this, because this is the corner frequency, this is equal to 1 by tau d, we have studied it. So tau d equal to 1 by 10. So transfer function g is 10 into 1 plus 1 by 10 into s. So 10 plus s, that's the answer. So next problem. This is quite interesting problem, you see. So first a tank is given, right? Here we have a pump. Here we have a valve fitted with a resistance R. This gap is 2 feet, right? And here we have Q in feet cube per minute. So we have to solve for this is H definitely. We have to solve for Hs divided by Qs, or in terms of deviation variable we can consider at all time. When the tank level operates about a steady state, here the steady state level value is 1. The pump removes water at a constant rate. Say, let's say it is Q naught. So Q naught is 10 feet cube per minute. And the tank cross section is A. This is linear valve, right? So you are asked to calculate the transfer function. So you see, generally what we will think that okay, if the total level is H, then minus of A is a cross sectional area, A into dH dt, will be equal to H minus 2 divided by R plus Q naught, and from there we will solve this minus A dH dt is equal to dHs dt is equal to Hs minus 2 divided by R plus Q naught. So if I subtract, I will get minus of A ddt of H minus Hs, that is a deviation variable, is H minus Hs divided by R, right? H minus Hs divided by R. So minus of A dH prime dt is equal to H prime by R, and we will write A S H prime bar, plus we forgot that, this A, this will be minus, this will be minus, there will be plus Q, then this minus, this is minus, plus Qs steady state value. So plus Q prime, here it is minus, this is plus. Okay. So for that, your equation is a typical first order system. A dH prime dt is equal to Q prime minus H prime divided by R. So AS H prime bar will be equal to Q prime bar minus H prime bar divided by R. So ARS plus 1 into H prime bar is equal to R into Q prime bar. So H prime bar divided by Q prime bar is equal to R divided by ARS plus 1. Right. So if you do that, it's definitely, you will think that it is correct, but actually it is wrong. Why? As HS is 1 feet. That means the liquid level is somewhere over here. So this valve is running dry. So my system equation is A dH dt is equal to Q naught only A dH prime dt or minus Qi, of course. This again I am writing it wrongly. So it is Q minus Q0. So A dH prime or A dHs dt equal to Qs minus Q0. So if I subtract, it is A dH prime dt is equal to Q prime, that is AS H prime bar is equal to Q prime bar. So H prime divided by Q prime bar is equal to 1 by AS. So this is the correct answer. So because of this level, the tank behaves like a pure capacitive system, right? It is acting as a pure capacitive system instead of capacitive resistive system what we have wrongly solved, because this, if now it is stated that okay HS is some 3 feet, definitely you can this answer will be correct, right? Otherwise, whenever the level is intermediate, the valve is running dry, this is the correct answer. Okay. The time constant of a unity gain first order process is 5. Time constant is 5 minutes, gain equal to 1. Right? The process is connected. If the process is connected in series with a dead time element and the corresponding phase lag is 60 degree at omega equal to 0.2 radian per minute, the dead time is. So what is the transfer function? G1. So this is 1 divided by 5s plus 1. This is the first order transfer function. And dead time is e to the power minus tau ds, that we know. Right? Now what is given? The corresponding phase lag phi is equal to minus 60 degree at omega is equal to 0.2 rad per minute. Right. So phi we know from these non-interacting capacities, it will be equal to the sum of the individual capacities. So this is equal to tan inverse of minus pi omega, right, minus pi omega minus tau d into omega, and that is minus 60 degree, which is minus pi by 3. So minus of pi by 3 is equal to tan inverse of minus 5 into 0.2 minus tau d into 0.2, where tau d will be in minute. So from there, finding this inverse, we can solve for tau d. So that's also a gate question. Okay, next. The Bode plot, AR versus omega in log-log space, in asymptotic form for an open loop system is shown in the figure. From the Bode plot, here what is the nature of the problem? From the Bode plot, we have to get back the representative transfer function. And what is the Bode plot? See. This is omega and amplitude ratio. This is 1. So it's going by this, then this, this, and then this. Here the slope is -1, here also -1. This value is 0.1, this value is 0.2, this value is 0.4. Right. So you see that we have to think about that, okay, originally we had a first order system. Right? At this point it is counteracted, this slope is counteracted by your opposing slope. So you can think that, okay, actually this is happening. If we add this first order with a PD type controller, I must get this, because this will follow here and then after that the slope will 0. And again here it's following the first order. So again here at this point we will have a first order. So two first orders in series with another PD in series. So G1, right? It's 1 divided by, so here this one is 1 by tau 1, this one is 1 by tau d, and this one is also 1 by tau 2. So 1 by tau 1 is 0.1, so tau 1 is 10. So G1 will be 10s plus 1. Now G2. G2 will be 1 plus this tau d will be 1 divided by 0.2, so it is 5. Right? And G3, this is 0.4, so it's 2.5. So 1 divided by 2.5s plus 1. So overall transfer function will be this 1 plus 5s divided by 10s plus 1 into 2.5s plus 1. So here in solving this problem, thing is that you have to remember the individual asymptotic plots of elementary systems like first order, second order, PD controller, PID controller, PI controller, dead time, everything. And from there, just think of this correct combination, because in the log space we know that asymptotes, we have to go on adding the slopes of the asymptotes in the individual section, and from there we have to get the transfer function. Right? So that's a good example to follow, and these type of problems definitely you have to think about it. So what you can do, solve this type of problems. I will send some of them in exercise. Okay, this is also very important and interesting problem. The temperature of a furnace falls at a rate of 240 degree Fahrenheit per minute. Right. The temperature sensor must not be in error more than by 8 degree Fahrenheit. The error should be less than 8 degree Fahrenheit. What should be the transfer function of the sensor if it follows first order dynamics? Now you see the thermometer, the sensor here is thermometer, and it should represent the temperature itself. So the sensor must have the gain equal to 1 and its time constant, let's say, is tau. Because we have solved this, when you solve this problem of first order system, you have seen the thermometer it has got a gain equal to 1 provided the output is also temperature, the input is the surrounding temperature. So under this situation, what we have is the unit gain process, and definitely as it's given, it's a fast order process, so G equal to tau S plus 1, right? So here the input is basically RAM, okay? So if you plot the temperature of the furnace, which is the input versus time, it falls like this in terms of deviation variable from the point 0 or 0, 0 here, right? So 240 degree, 240 degree per hour, that's what I was saying, the tower. So 240 divided by 60, so 4 degree, so it's minus 4 degree Fahrenheit per minute, right? So the respective input T prime F in Laplace domain, we can write it as minus of 4 divided by S square, because the ramp we know that its deviation variable for a positive ramp F prime, if it is A into T, where A is the slope, then F prime bar is equal to A by S square. The same thing we are having here with the minus sign, of course. So T prime bar, the indicated temperature, will be 1 divided by tau S plus 1 into minus 4 by S square, right? So the error in Laplace domain, here the error in Laplace domain, so we can actually disregard the sign. If the same thing falls or if same thing rises, the situation will remain identical, right? So it is 4 divided by S square into 1 divided by tau S plus 1 minus 1, because we are subtracting these two. So it is 4 by S square, or rather it is, this error is 1 minus 1 divided by tau S plus 1. The true temperature is Tf prime, the indicated temperature is T prime, so error is this. So we are having this tau S plus 1 divided by tau S plus 1. So it is 4 into tau divided by S into tau S plus 1. So it is the error in time domain, and this error should be less than 4 degree, right? 8 degree. What we have to understand here, that if I neglect the sign, basically, if this is temperature and my furnace temperature is a ramp, generally a fast order system's response to a ramp is something like this. Initially it will have a transience, and after some point of time the difference will be steady, right? So this is time tending towards infinity theoretically. So we know that E prime bar S, right, and we have to get this gap, and this gap basically is less, this gap is lower, right? This is the maximum possible gap between the input and the response. So E prime infinity, which we know as limit S tending to 0, S into E prime bar S, final value theorem. So limit S tending to 0 is S into 4 tau divided by S, this tau S plus 1. So S cancels out, S tending to 0, so it is 4 tau. And 4 tau should be less than 8, so tau should be less than 2 minutes, or less than equal to, right? So if I think that, okay, we will go for a marginal value of 2, so the transfer function of the sensor becomes 1 divided by 2S plus 1. That is the answer. And the question is, temperature of the furnace falls at a rate of 240 degree Fahrenheit per hour. The temperature sensor must not be in error more than 8 degree. What should be the transfer function of the sensor if it follows fast order dynamics? Consider the respective time constant in minute. So it will be 1 divided by 2S plus 1. So 1 mark question. What is that? A manufacturer of clinical thermometer claims that his product is a 1-minute thermometer that requires only 1 minute contact time to register true temperature. That is 98% of process completion. The time constant of the thermometer is. So you see that for a first order system, at t equal to nearly 4 tau, 98% completion is achieved. So 4 tau is equal to 1 minute and tau is equal to 1 by 4 minute. That is 15 seconds. Okay. The PD controller, next. The PD controller with the transfer function GC is equal to 3 into 1 plus 5.2 S is subject to an input signal f prime t is equal to 3 plus 2 t square. The output at t equal to 0 plus, t equal to 0 plus. So basically you see this f prime s is 3 by s plus this 2 into 2 4 by s square or s cube, right? This t square factorial n, so 2 divided by s cube. So output y prime will be 3 1 plus 5.2 s into this s cube, and here we have, or rather we can write this as 3 by s plus 4 by s cube, right? Now we have to find out this at t equal to 0 plus. So y prime at 0 plus is equal to limit s tending to infinity s into 3 1 plus 5.2 s into 3 by s plus 4 by s cube. So this s here cancels out, here it is s square. So this part will be 0, so this is 3, but because of this s it will flow to infinity. So the answer is infinity. Right? Okay. So this is a typical application of this initial and final value theorems. Next question. A unit step input is given to a process that is represented by a transfer function. So unit step input, so basically f prime bar equal to 1 by s, and the process transfer function is s plus 2 by s plus 5. The initial value of the response to a step input of magnitude 1. So basically this initial response, so y prime 0, which is limit s tending to infinity s into y prime bar s, and that is equal to limit s tending to infinity. This s and this 1 by s cancels out. This 1 s plus 2 plus s plus 5. So limit s tending to infinity, it is 1. Right? So answer is 1 unit. Okay, a unit impulse response of a fast order process is given. So y prime t is given as 2 into e to the power minus 5.5 t. Right. The gain and time constant of the process are. So it is fast order, so you have to find Kp and tau. So you see that for the fast order we know this Kp divided by tau ps plus 1, it's the transfer function. So y prime bar will be Kp divided by tau ps plus 1 and it is 1. So Kp divided by tau p s plus 1 by tau p. So upon Laplace inverse we get Kp by tau p into e to the power minus t by tau. So it's obvious that 1 by tau p is equal to 0.5, then tau p is equal to 2 and Kp divided by 2 is equal to 2, so Kp is equal to 4. So this is the answer. Yeah. So this is a frequency response based gate problem. For two systems, what is the system? They are connected in series, G1 and here G2. This is X, this is Y, this is Z. Right? And this is 1 by tau 1s plus 1, this is 1 divided by tau 2s plus 1 and is given tau 2 equal to 2 tau 1. So 2 tau 1 s plus 1. Right. As this tau 2 equal to 2 tau 1 given in the problem statement. Next, what is stated? When the system is excited by a sinusoidal input xt equal to sine omega t, only sine omega t, the amplitude is 1. The intermediate response capital Y, so here if it is sine omega t, the intermediate is a sine omega t plus 5, right? If the response capital Y lags behind the input by 45 degree and tau 1 equal to 1, then the input frequency. Tau 1 is equal to 1, phi is minus 45 degree, right? And we know that phi is equal to tan inverse of minus omega into tau 1 because this is only for this, right? Because y lags behind the input variable by 45 degree. So this is minus 45, that is tan inverse of minus omega tau 1 and tau 1 is equal to 1. So tan of 45, tan of minus 45 minus 1, minus cancels out, so 1 equal to omega, right? So this answer is the answer. Next, for the same input, the amplitude of the output Z will be. So the amplitude ratio, which is nothing but the amplitude, 1 divided by tau 1 square omega square plus 1 into 1 divided by 2 tau 1 whole square omega square plus 1, right? 1 divided by 2 tau 1, that is the time period, and tau 1 is equal to 1 and omega equal to 1. So 1 by under root 2 and 1 by under root here 2 into 1 into 1 2 square 4 plus 1 5. So 1 by under root of 10, right? So that 0.32 around will be the answer. That is option D. That is also a great question. So next, let's solve some problems here. Just I will discuss about how to solve these problems. Let's think of a modeling problem. So it is a CSTR, it's given, but with heat effects. CSTR with heat effects. Right? And actually heat is to be given here. This is the flow rate is F1, temperature T1, composition CA1, CB1, right? And here we have a stirring coil where 150 psi steam is circulated and it's given a heat Q to the system. And the output, it's a flat bottom. So output is F, T, Ca, Cb, Cr, Cp. Cp1, Cp2. Now what are the reactions? A plus R, and there is another stream also. This is F2, T2, pure R, right? F2, T2 and it is pure R. So, what are the reaction? A plus R giving P1, A plus or B plus 2R, B plus 2R giving P2. They are elementary reactions. Both reactions are endothermic and have second order and third order kinetics. Heat is supplied to the reaction mixture by steam which flows through the coil immersed in the reactor content with a heat transfer area 80. This coil has got heat transfer area 80. What are the state variables describing the natural state of the system? So state variable will be Ca, Cb, Cr, system temperature T and volume V. These are the definitely state variables. Right. So this describes the natural state of the system. Develop the state model for the CSTR system. So if I write simply dV dt, you see it will be F1 plus F2 minus F. Now component balance A ddt of, first let's write it for R, Ca into V, it's equal to Ca1 into F1, right? Ca1 into F1 and plus or not, no plus, and minus Ca into F, that's the outflow, and the reaction, in the first reaction we have minus of, say the rate constant K1, here it is K2, K1 into CaCr, right, K1 into CaCr, that's the consumption rate of A. So V into dCA dt plus Ca into dV dt, which is F1 plus F2 minus F, is equal to Ca1 into F1 minus Ca into F minus K into Ca into Cr. So Ca into F and Ca into F cancels out CaF1 also cancels out. CaF1 and CaF1 also cancels out. So V dCA dt is equal to minus of F2Ca minus KCaCr. That's V into dCA dt. Next, ddt of Cv into V is again Cv1. Yeah, no, it will not cancel out, sorry. Here, because I missed it, it is Ca1. So this is Ca. So we have Ca1 minus Ca into F1, Ca1 into Ca minus F1, minus F2 into Ca minus KCaCr. That's correct. That's correct. So ddt of Cv into V, Cv1 into F1, right? And there is nothing, minus F into Cv, Cv moves out, then minus, there are one reaction, that is K2 into Cv, and here we will have V also. K2 into Cv into Cr square into V. So V into dCv dt plus Cv into dV dt. dV dt is again F1 plus F2 minus F is equal to Cv1 F1 minus F into Cv minus K2 into Cv into Cr square into V. Now what will cancel out? This will cancel out. So V into dCv dt will be equal to F1 Cv1 minus Cv minus F2 Cv minus K2 into Cv into Cr square into V. So next we have to write a balance for R. Now these F1, F2, these are volume flow rates, but this is pure R. So ddt of Cr into V equal to volume flow rate into the concentration of this entire stream, right? The volume flow rate, as it is pure, so it will be entirely concentration, so it is mole per meter cube. So C2 is the concentration of that stream. Minus, what are the reaction? It's participating in both the reaction. So K1CaCr plus, within bracket, K2CbCr square into V minus, this is F2Cr, right? So Cr, or rather V into dCr dt plus Cr within bracket dV dt. dV dt is again F1 plus F2 minus F is equal to F2C2. So that is the concentration of stream 2 minus FCr, then minus K1CaCr plus K2CbCr square into V. Now Cr into F, and this cancels out, then V into dCr dt is equal to F2 C2 minus Cr minus F1 Cr minus K1CaCr plus K2CbCr square whole bracket. Done. So for these three components, we have written these equations and along with the overall mass balance. Now finally coming to the energy balance. So energy balance will be giving you ddt of rho Cp V, Cp is constant, rho Cp V into T. right? Mass rho into V, Cp, water equivalent giving their total enthalpy. So that's equal to F1 Cp1 T1, right, into rho minus or plus F2 Cp2 T2 into rho, then minus F Cp rho into T plus Q dot, then this endothermic heat. So delta H 1, right? Heat of the reaction for 1. Now what is the rate? K Ca Cr into V. That's the heat liberation. This is the per unit mole basis and the number of moles reacting per unit time. So you multiply and delta H1 will be negative. And next delta H2 into K1, this is K2 into Cv into Cr square into V. Right. So this, what you can do, rho Cp V dt dt plus rho Cp T dV dt is again F1 plus F2 minus F is equal to F1 Cp. Let's say Cp and rho remains constant, right? But actually there is a problem because as we have a pure R stream here, so the equal density consideration is bit difficult, but okay. Anyway, this you can write in the assumption that Cp into T1 into rho plus F2 into Cp into T2 into rho minus F rho Cpt, right, plus Q dot minus this delta H1 into K1 Ca Cr into V plus, this will be plus, no, this is delta H1, okay, this we have to put negative because delta H1 is positive, so that much heat is abstracted, right? So minus delta H2 K2 Cv Cr square into V. So you see here we will have this rho Cp first, let's drop it. So divided by rho Cp, here also rho Cp, here rho Cp. So now we are left with F1 into T. So finally V into dt dt will be F1 T1 minus T plus F2 T2 minus T minus Ft and then Ft, that will cancel out. So plus Q dot divided by rho Cp minus delta H1 divided by rho Cp into K1 Ca Cr whole bracket V minus delta H2 rho Cp K2 Cv Cr square into V. So you see that here we have got the final energy balance. So this energy balance, definitely the entire set of equations, these are nonlinear equations, right? So this is equation 1, this is the first equation, and this is the second balance for A, this is the third for B, this is fourth for C, and finally this is fifth for temperature. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 variables. So 5 equations, we have to solve them simultaneously. So there are many other modeling problems. I will post the assignment. Maybe once we have all these 8 lectures, and after that we will post the assignment, the collective assignment of module 1 and module 2.